It should be accessible when people need to know, but I don't think you have much hope of reaching a public that doesn't have a professional need to know.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is gonna be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in. The FDIC held its Systematic Resolution Advisory Committee back in November of 2022, and some of the things that they said about the public and about what could potentially happen in 2023 is absolutely shocking. The fact that I'm just now, listening to these videos is really depressing to me, because some of the things that they said are essentially telling us that the banking industry right now is trying to manipulate the public and hide from the public just how close we are from financial collapse. They even go on to say that a financial collapse could be faster and worse than 2008 if something is not done. The other shocking thing is they acknowledge that if they fail, that more than likely the government is just going to do something called a bail-in and rescue the banking system once again. So my question is now that we've learned that they want to hide things from us, is my money safe? Should I put my money into something other than a bank account that's not insured by the FDIC? That's the question that I have. Now, in order to help us answer that question, because I am a little freaked out, you guys, we're going to dig into some videos from that meeting today and kind of just analyze what they're saying, how they're manipulating us. And, at the end of this, I'm going to go into a little bit more is our money actually safe? That's all I want to know. I want to know where to put my money. I can keep it there. It's safe, it's protected, and I don't have to worry about, a total financial collapse making my money disappear. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is just my personal YouTube channel where I get to be completely boldly honest. I can't do that in my real job for political reasons, but this is my personal YouTube channel, guys. And thank you so much for following along on this journey with me. If you can, please do me a favor and like this video, share it if you haven't, shoot me a comment below. Everyone reads your comments, and I really, really appreciate all of those people that are that are sharing their insights and their wisdom in our comment section. Thank you, guys. Regardless, let's get started right now by listening to the first video, which is going to essentially go into the fact that they believe, the FDIC believes, that they should not tell the public what's going on, and that if they did tell the public what's going on, the reality of how close we are to a financial collapse, that what that would do in turn is just create an overwhelming amount of panic, which would further crash our financial system. I kid you not, you guys, they are literally having a committee talking and laughing about how foolish the public is. Listen to this.
It should be accessible when people need to know, but I don't think you have much hope of reaching a public that doesn't have a professional need to know.
I completely agree with that. I almost think you'd scare the public if you put this out. Like, why are they telling me this? Should I be concerned about my bank? Like, my insurance company doesn't tell me what they're doing with my assets. They just assume they're going to pay my claim, right? I think you've got to think of the unintended consequences of taking a public that has more full faith and confidence in the banking system than maybe people in this room do. More full faith and confidence in the banking system than maybe people in this room do. That we want them to have full faith and confidence in the banking system. They know the FDIC insurance is there. They know it works. They put their money in, they're going to get their money out. So there's a select crowd of people that are in the institutional side. And if they want to understand this, they're going to find a way to understand this. There's a bunch of law firms represented in this room. There's a bunch of people that charge them by the hour a lot of money to explain this all to them, and it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And they all have huge staffs. But I would be careful about the unintended consequences of starting to blast too much of this out in the general public.
That's the FDIC talking about how they need to be careful on what they're giving to the public. Absolutely shocking, you guys. They're also saying that you're only going to be able to understand if you're a lawyer, and that the best thing that we can do now is essentially hide this information from public. And another clip I'm about to show you guys is going to go into their plan at basically pushing their narrative. They plan on hijacking social media for them to create a narrative. But what we know right now, what we just heard right now is Remember this, okay? They're saying that they need to be careful on what they're telling the public. In other words, the public doesn't need to know what's actually happening because according to them, we're not smart enough to control our emotions enough. And by telling us the truth, it's going to just make the problem worse. What do you guys think about that? Comment below. This is the FDIC meeting. You guys, it's going to be linked in my description below for you guys to review on your own. It's about a 3.5-hour meeting. I would suggest you guys watch it if you really want to know what's going on. But let's move on to the next part of the video and listen what they have to say about what would happen if people started pulling out all of their money. And remember, you guys, they can't even cover 1.5% of the money they insured, which means if just 2% of the money that they're insuring pulls out, they're bankrupt, they're gone, they're moot, right? They cannot help anyone if just 1.5% of the people pull their money out. This is crazy. Listen to this video.
I wondered whether there are some market tests of whether you're being heard. And I think about TLAC. So TLAC should respond to good and bad news about the institutions. And it's really important. I mean, it's a little bit conflicted, right? I mean, it's important that people understand they can be bailed in, but you don't want a huge run on the institution. But they're going to be. And it could be an early warning signal to the FDIC and the primary regulators when these things happen. And there may be some other prices. This is similar to what Jay was saying in the market that you can tell whether people understand who's going to be protected, who isn't going to be protected. It would be, I think, an interesting study to look at the evolution of market price.
They're dead in the water. They don't want people to know that the government is just going to bail in, put money into them, and save them. They don't want people to know that because they want people to keep their money in the financial institution. So again, just more information. They want to hide things to us. More information from them saying that they cannot allow the public to find out what's really going on with the FDIC. And again, a lot of our banking system and the faith that consumers have in banking is because our money is insured by the FDIC. But now I'm wondering, can we even trust the FDIC since they're having meetings talking about how the public shouldn't know any of this, right? They want more tests to be done on the banking system just to see whether or not it can withstand a sudden withdrawal situation, right? So people want to, withdraw their money. And honestly, guys, when I listen to this, I'm not going to lie to you. I thought about it last night. Should I pull my money out of the bank and maybe put it in gold or treasuries or stuff of that nature? Because I got a lot of money wrapped up in the bank. And if the banking system fails, you guys, I'm almost dead in the water, right? And it's super scary. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is very, very enlightening to me. There's a lot of awareness. I hope that's being provided in this video. But let's move on to the next part of the video right now, where they're going to say that this situation can spiral out of control worse than 2008. And because in this era of 2022, social media and communication is so rampant, they're suggesting that they get an advanced start on that by starting social media campaigns to push their narratives. Take a listen.
Back to some of Dick's early comments, I do think it is hard to get a lot of demand for transparency right now in this sort of period of peacetime, but that is going to flip, and it's going to flip probably even faster than we saw in 2008, where the need for communications really quickly in the social media world to avoid disinformation, to have some holding patterns for things like, I remember in the early days of bail-in, people saying they're coming for my deposits, right? So just holding communications that you can pull out that are helpful to deal with disinformation, some very simple things, and how quickly you'll be able to deal with different constituencies. For example, as liabilities are further up and closer to harm's way, when are you going to be able to give them some comfort, if any? How do you deal with foreign operations? How do you communicate to some of those different groups? I think ex-ante preparation for the speed of scaling up and the ability to get information out to avoid rumors taking over the narrative strikes me as probably the place that feels like it's got the most benefit.
So once things come to fruition and the reality starts hitting and people start getting hurt, their plan is to create a narrative on social media to provide comfort for the victims. Now, we know that the comfort is not the truth, as they've said. They're saying that the truth is not something that they should do. So I'm curious on what narrative exactly they want to push on social media, and why do they think that everything is going to be okay when they're clearly saying right now that it's not going to be okay. So pretty slimy, you guys, in my opinion. It doesn't seem like, that we can really lean on these people to give us clean and accurate, honest information about something as valuable as knowing that our money is safe in the banks, right? I just want to know my money is safe in the banks. And this is telling me it's not safe in the banks. And not only is it not safe in the banks, that I can't believe what the FDIC is saying, because their push is to create a narrative to comfort people. Right? And here's the thing, you guys, I don't think people should be comforted when a crisis is coming. When a crisis is coming, I think the comfort is in the truth, and I think the comfort is in the preparation. The comfort is not lying. I just have a bad feeling about moving forward into 2023, into 2024, because I really don't trust what's going on in our world. I don't want to be paranoid. I don't want to be like some conspiracy theorist, but this is the actual FDIC saying this, right? So hopefully you guys, learn a little bit about this. But here's the thing. We got to understand, and we got to ask ourselves, is our money safe? And the reality of that answer is we don't know. We don't know if it's safe. If just 1.5% of the money is taken out of the system that the FDIC is insuring, they're done. They no longer have enough money, or any money at all, to continue to insure anyone's losses. So any black swan event happens in the financial system, people run to go pull their money out, dead in the water, because the banks don't have our money. Don't have our money. So if everyone wants to pull their money out, not even everyone, if just 1% of people, right, want to pull their money out at the same time, the entire financial system breaks down. So again, the question, is my money safe? And my answer is I don't think my money is safe. I have most of my money in one bank, and that is going to start changing as we go into 2023. My plan is trying to put my money, my liquid money, in some type of asset that is a performing asset, a cash flowing asset, something of that nature, or even maybe put it in gold, in treasuries. But one thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to diversify, because we don't know what's going to happen this year. Any black swan event can trigger a total financial collapse. So when you're doing your financial planning and asking yourself where you should put your money, I want you to think about those things the next time you do that. Now, other than that, you guys, I really hope you guys got some value, insights, and perspective in today's video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck, and I hope you win.